Okay, I met someone not long ago, right? And the couple is in so much pressure, right? And so much strife and fighting is going on, and all because there is not enough money. Okay, which leads to many other problems. Look at the divorce races. Many of those are because of money.
Money, yes, correct. I know that because my mentor was a lawyer.
Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So, if we have a platform to help people in this, I'll be more than happy to share, because I believe family is. We can say, oh, government is like this, society is like this, but what's the root cause? Actually, it's the family, right? Because the family, I can never forget. One of my wife's bosses, when she was in a legal firm, we were making a drastic decision, and I can never forget this, right? One sentence from him, right, it's like we paused, and we said, wow. He said, guys, we were like leaving his office, me and my wife, and he stopped and he said, look, whatever decision you make, he said, it's not just going to affect you, it's going to affect you and your next generation, and probably is the next generation to come. Wow, that made us think.
About money,
about decisions, about spiritual matters, about any matter. He said, whatever decision you guys make, he said, it's not just going to affect your life, it's going to affect your next generation's life. And that is very true. Very, very true. So that's how it happened. So when we started applying the truths, things started turning around. Some things are, hard to explain is seriously in a natural sense, because I call it there are supernatural events which happen.
like grace.
Correct, like grace. Like, what's the meaning of grace? Well, unmerited, undeserved favor of God. I probably write another book which is called God's Favor is Real. Some people still don't get it, and especially Christians out there. It is real. The favor of God is real. And one other reason to answer your question, why happy every day? Okay, there is one verse on the Bible which says, the joy of the Lord, the joy, which is beyond happiness, right? Because happiness, I see you, I'm happy. I see the wrong person, I'm unhappy, kind of thing, right? But joy is different, because joy is internal. It's spiritual. So the joy of the Lord is my strength. So no matter what goes on around me, I still have the joy of the Lord. No matter what's going on. So that's the key anchor which keeps us happy and positive in life.
Okay.
Makes
Great
sense?
sharing. Yeah, makes sense. And you know what? This is not the first time I heard that, for you is contribution to
Honor
God
yes.
first. For Rashwin, it was to donate.
Yes.
And a lot of people have told me this, and I've tried it and it worked, and I scratched my head. Why?
Why?
Why would 1 minus 50 cents become 2?
Yes.
I don't understand.
That is so true.
Yeah. Like when you give, somewhere it will come back.
That's why no wonder it says it's more
Engineers
blessed.
can't understand.
Yeah, exactly. Why it says it's more blessed to give than to receive. Wow, it's like, my goodness, it's such a powerful principle. And it works all the time. Seriously, it works all the time. Very powerful. So that's really what turned our life around, really, really.
And I see that you have a pretty good relationship, and you bring your children well, they are together with you.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time I see a lot of families, the couples may not be talking to each other that much, or that friendly, or working as closely
Yes.
as you are.
Yes.
And the children may not be as close to their father, maybe they are not as friendly as
Yes.
you are.
Yes.
So do you have any advice in terms of relationship for the young couples these days, or those that are becoming father or mother?
Very good point. Wow. This is super interesting subject. If things didn't happen the way it happened, I won't be in this interview, and very likely I will not even be with my wife.
Okay.
All right. So, how shall I put it? It comes back to the truth, of course. Remember, I said the truth about relationship, truth about money, truth about parenting, and all this. Olivia, my wife, you have met her. She's a very smart lady. Very smart lady, and a very capable lady. Okay, and we are totally opposites. Okay, and which is very good, very good. I'm not organized. She is organized. I procrastinate. she can never procrastinate. Totally opposite. Everything is opposite, which is fantastic. So when I ventured into the Mr. Bean show business, right, one of my dream was, I'm like, God, thank you, you set me free. I don't need to worry about, reporting to bosses and all this. I'm like self-employed, and it's fun, no stress. I make people happy and all this, and I'm happy. I want my wife to be with me, okay? For many reasons. One thing I said, we can do more things together, okay? Now, why I'm telling you this is because there is a principle behind it of doing things together. Because I noticed, as you said, many couples either don't talk much to each other, different careers.
They drift apart.
They drift apart, but I always ask them back. I don't care they are Christians or whatever religion they have or faith. I said, is the same person that you used to go out with, you call it pakto, right? When you dating time, and you can't wait, right, to get together and go for your date, go for your movie night, go for your nasi lemak or tetar, whatever you go together, you couldn't wait to spend time together. My question to the couples out there is, what changed after the marriage? You are the same fellow, she's the same woman. Why suddenly the difference? Why you say, oh, I can't work with her? I don't get it. So I wanted to change that, and I felt very strongly. I said, no, cannot be. So once I was set free, I said, I need her to be with me. So I pray for it, I asked God for it, and it happened. Okay? So one of the keys is to do things together. Like even when we invested in properties, it's not like property is my thing, law is your thing. No. When we do property investments, we go together. We look together, we make decisions together. Another area very sensitive, not many will like this, but I don't care, is our life. A lot of couples have this, your money, my money. True or not true? Okay. I don't know, there are many school of thoughts about this. We don't believe in that. For me and Olivia, it doesn't really matter. Whether it's in my bank account, in her bank account, there is no difference. You know what I mean? I have access to her account, she has access to my account. No difference. Alright? So these are some of the key things. So we love to do things together. Alright? The only reason she's not here, just because she's not a camera person. If you know her, she always will be behind the scenes. Ask her to stand in front of a crowd, to do a preview or things like that. She'll never do that, okay? She just doesn't like it. So she's that brain who works non-stop behind the scenes, right? That's why she's not here. So, but besides that, we like to do things together, alright? And it works very well for us. Another issue couples face, okay, is I'm going to write a book about it. What I learned from my wife. This is for couples especially. I faced this before with Olivia, right? Before we know certain truth about marriage. For us men, right? Men, our main challenge is what? Our ego. Ego, men, right?
Yeah.
And
especially men that are in business.
Yes, exactly, right? And especially, right, if we are dealing with a lady who is smarter than us.
Yes, we don't like to feel stupid.
We don't like. I had the same problem, right? So how? I dealt with my ego.
And how?
I came to accept the fact Olivia is smarter than me.
Okay.
So what?
Okay.
And I declare it openly. I deal with my ego. You know what I'm trying to say? Why should I be that guy? Because you see, there was an ego issue before. Even before I do Mr. Bean, that's why God is so good. He knows my ego problem, so He finds a character to deal with my ego. You get the picture?
Yes, let's talk about your ego because as you say, you are a businessman, investor, all this, so you're supposed to be like, I'm professional, proper, how can I do stupid things, right?
Correct.
But now you're doing Mr. Bean, which by the nature of the job,
totally opposite,
the
right?
job is to make fun of yourself, right?
Be an idiot.
So how do you let go of the ego?
Exactly.
Because I find this, even for myself, is a big problem.
Very tough.
And it hinders me.
Very tough. Correct. Very tough. Actually, when that word was spoken by my spiritual father, right? Wow, I was super nervous. Very nervous. Yeah, exactly. Doing the opposite. Here, I want to be that guy, the next trainer, the next probably public speaker or what, consultant and all this. And suddenly I got totally opposite direction. But you see, it's again back to honoring a mentor, right? We always talk about mentors. So when I honor the mentor, I said, wow, this word that came from him, I cannot take it for granted. So no matter how, I have to overcome my ego, I have to overcome my fear. And after all, he promised me, he said, God will back you up. I said, so what is that for me to keep to my ego? I mean, at the end, what do I get? I mean, how far have I gone so far with my ego? Yes, some of us have gone to a certain level, but we could have been to a totally different level. Right? So my first, frankly speaking, right, my first 2 months of doing Mr. Bean shows in public, wow, struggle. Just to shift to that character, right, doing weird, doing stupid things, doing crazy things, right, wow, that was struggle. But somehow, you know, when they say, when whatever you fear, you just have to overcome it and do it. But that was my breakthrough. That was truly my breakthrough.
And how has releasing this ego turned out good for you?
Ah, very good. Because you see, ego, right? Why do we have ego? The main issue is we want to become a people pleaser. I want likeness. I want Meng Heng to like me. I want Denisa to like me. I want people who know me to always like me. That's why we need Facebook likes, Instagram likes. If someone rejects us, oh, we feel hurt, right? Which is part of ego. What? Why do I feel rejected if someone dislikes me or say the negative comment about me, right? So this transformational process, right, it teach me that I don't have to become a people pleaser. I was a people pleaser before, and I suffered. Need to please my boss, had to please this, had to please that.
You care a lot about other people's
Care
opinion.
what people's opinion about me.
And that affects your mood.
Definitely. Affects confidence, affects mood, affects everything, because actually it's self-centered. Right or not? Like in an interview like this, if too self-centered, don't really focus, and also cannot be natural. Right or not? Because self-centered, do I look good on the camera?
And you're thinking what to reply.
Thinking what to reply. Do I look good enough in the camera? Right? No? Will people respond very well to this video? But you see, if we remove all this, right, and be authentic, be yourself, I think people who are authentic out there will relate. He said, oh yeah, I can relate to this. Like you said, I can relate to this ego problem. I also face it. We all face it. Right? And I suffered many, many years because of that. So many years trying to look so good on the outside, but suffer on the inside. Terrible, terrible life to live.
And I think nowadays is even much, much more extreme because we have Instagram.
Social media.
Yeah, all these things,
Exactly.
right? Everybody only show you. Hey, to be honest, I have a lot of bad side as well. I don't show on social media. I suffer a lot, but of course I don't post on social media my sufferings.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's life, So for couples, definitely. For men, we need to let go. Right? And, there is a powerful principle. Again, I can't help but go back to the Bible, right? Because that's what changed my life with Olivia, right? Because we also, in terms of relationship, we were not this close before. We were in the beginning, but because she's smart, controlling, right? And ladies, when they're smart, controlling, they can manipulate you, right? They want to control you, right? Back then. Then I realized a statement in the Bible which says, husbands, love your wives, or love your wife, love your wife the same way Jesus loves the church. He gave his life for the church, right? The church in the Bible is like, if you don't know, it's like the bride of Jesus. It's like Jesus getting married to the bride, and the bride is the church, which is the people, not the building, it's the people, the Christians, right? It's the bride. So that made me think, husband, love your wife to the extent that you will die for her. That's powerful. There's no more selfish love already. That's selfless love. So that started to change my concept about marriage. You get the
It's
picture?
not about I count what you are giving and what you are not giving.
No counting, no accounting book. It's very selfless already.
It changed, but before this, you were counting.
Of course.
Then after this,
Because of the ego, because of low self-esteem and all this. So always counting, always, how can I make it up to her because she does a lot of things better than me? This is like keeping an account statements. Terrible. Even before coming down here, I was joking with her. I said, what shall I tell people about you? She said, leave me alone. Let me finish my work.
Okay.
She knows me very well. So we don't keep accounts of each other. And we are totally opposite. Like before coming here, because she's busy, right, on her laptop, I'll go behind and I'll kiss her, darling, I kiss you, I love you, I'll kiss her, She won't return my kiss. You see, remember, we are two different cultures. I'm grown up with a very kissing culture. In our culture, I meet the man also, I kiss the man. Doesn't mean we are gays, by the way. It's just the culture thing. I meet you, we kiss.
Yeah, my
right?
my Arab friend's father came here and kissed me twice.
Exactly.
I had a culture shock in my own country.
Exactly. To us, it's normal. Olivia's culture is not kissing and hugging and telling you 20 times a day, I love you. But for me, yes. So the way I show my love to her is touch, love, kiss, and verbally with my language. For her, it's not, but it doesn't count. Hey, I told you 20 times a day, I love you. How about you, leh? I don't do that. Right? So we understand each other's differences. So I think...
But this happened after you learned the truth about relationship.
Yes, correct.
And I think this has a lot to do with going back to letting go of ego. Because
letting go of ego, especially for men.
Yeah, if you have ego high, then you will definitely be,
now,
what are you doing for me?
Correct. Now, to be fair, must talk to ladies also.
Okay.
Why not? For ladies' part, okay? One of the issues that we see in the society today, for ladies especially, right, is when husband or the man doing well, the lady always say, hey, my hero, very good, very good.
Okay.
You get the picture where I'm going?
Yeah.
Suddenly something happened to, maybe it's the husband's job, husband's career, or husband's business, or the income, whatever, something happens, right? Suddenly, the hero becomes the zero in the eyes of the lady. And that's when the relationship starts to go away. So to the ladies, I always say, look carefully at your husband's eyes and always remember, no matter what's going on in his income, his status, his character, whatever, if you still want to be with him, if he's still your husband, he's always your hero. Always your hero, no matter what. Because the moment you look down at him, right? I mean, I have case studies, seriously, real case studies. I literally lose counts of the real people that I know personally, right? When things like that happen, you see, in a household, right? If the husband loses his headship, okay, or his hero so-called title, right? Like even my son always calls me, Daddy, you are the head of the house. My 7-year-old is like reminding me, I'm the head of the house. When the husband loses his manhood or manship or headship in the house, he'll look for that title somewhere else. So I have many friends that I know, right? I'm like, I had a lady last time and I work, cry in my car. Oh, my husband did this. He went to the salon. He went to the massage center. He did more than massage and blah, blah, blah. And I found out and that's it. I said, okay, but you have kids. Maybe we call it repented or maybe he changed, whatever it is, gave him a chance. No, I don't trust him anymore and stuff like that. And I always remember the guy, Olivia's boss, who said your decisions affect your next generations. I told the same thing to them. I said, your decision will affect the next generation. Even today, these people are just divorced, because of one incident. Okay, this is reset, but this is serious because he betrayed her. I know, but sometimes you must ask yourself, what's the root cause? Talking to ladies, I know you won't like me for this, but never mind.
I think...
You see, we go to the root cause.
Yeah.
If I ask a lady, they'll deny.
And it's not that the ladies have bad intention.
It's not.
It's not that they are doing it. They may be doing it subconsciously.
They don't realize it.
They don't realize what they are doing. But I think for guys, it's really quite simple. I've been observing quite a lot of guys. I myself am feeling this as well. Guys, the most important thing, very easy to please. Just make sure you make him feel that he's always reminded that he is the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the only
he's
guy
the
and he's the best.
He's the man.
That's all he needs.
That's right.
And if he can't get it from you, you get it from other
Somebody
people.
else, correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Very true.
Thank you. Thank you for the super good sharing on relationship. I think you should write a book on relationship.
Yes,
the truth about relationship.
I will.
Uncensored.
Let's do it.
With case studies.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That's right.
So what's your aspiration from now on? Like, what do you want to achieve?
Interesting.
Because I've known your journey, but what's next for you?
Very interesting. Well, I have certain aspirations which are related to, I call it my spiritual goals. All right. I won't reveal specifically what it is. But again, remember the principle of honoring God first. So I have some aspirations for that to come to another level. The way I honor God with my finances. Okay. Yeah, I believe there is something that when I meet one day my Creator, I want Him to say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." That means you are faithful with what I have given you. I think that's the ultimate aspiration for this life on earth, or what He has given me on this planet Earth. That's one. Next also, I also want to give glory to God in my, as you rightly mentioned, with my relationship in my family. I can't emphasize enough the family structure, husband and wife relationship. So yes, probably the next aspiration is to write another book on relationships. This is somehow skewed more towards the Christians and money, but most was the Christian context. Relationship will be more open to everybody, I believe, the book. And I think that's the main one. And of course, next aspiration is to be a good example for the next generation.
Okay, and this leads me to my next question. Yes. What's your philosophy on parenting?
Parenting, huh? Okay.
And then there will be the last question will be philosophy on life.
Sure. For parenting, very simple. We don't claim to be the best parents in the world. I know very wonderful parents out there who are doing amazing job, right? We probably fail in many areas, but there is one area which we strongly believe, and we try to pour that in our kids. And again, it's back to, first they must put God first in everything that they do. All right. So even our morning trip to school with the kids, we have certain, we call it powerful declarations that we do together as a family. If you hear my son do that, it's very cute, and it's probably one day I'll show the video of him and I'll share it with you guys. We does very good declarations together as a family, just on the way to school. And we declare the favor of God, we declare a lot of things together. And we also want to instill in them, our daughter now is 14, Odelia, Fable is 7. I'll share Fable's story just in a while, remind me on that. It just happened yesterday. We want to instill in them or plant in them the seed of entrepreneurship. Okay, that's why I expose them. Some of the meetings, you see my daughter there, right? I want her to be exposed. So I'm opening for her a Forex account. I'm opening for her a value investing account to trade US stocks and all this. I want her to start. She's starting with demo to practice. So that's another thing we want to encourage them at a young age to start managing their money well. All right, expose them to businesses, expose them from a young age to make a difference in the world. Quick story, huh? The other day, my son came to my room. He left a mouse, a laptop mouse with a wire. He left it in our master bedroom because he has another wireless mouse, very beautiful one, like those gaming kind of mouses, which his grandfather bought for him. So yesterday, I took this mouse in my set. Said, "Hey, he's Fable, right? Fable, come, take back your mouse." And he goes like, "I don't need it because he has the other mouse." I said, "But I don't need it too, and it's hanging in my room. I don't need it in my room, so go find a place for it somewhere." And he was holding the mouse. Let's say this is the mouse, and he goes, "Daddy, you know what? Maybe we can sell it." Okay, I said, "How much you want to sell it?" He said, 50 ringgit. I mean, it's a very old wired mouse. He said, and he's 7. I said, 50 ringgit? Do you think people will buy this mouse for 50 ringgit? He goes, yes, rich people will buy. So I'm thinking, 7-year-old, you understand, expensive item, rich people will buy. I said, okay, 50 ringgit, rich people will buy. Then he continued. He said, but if it's poor people, he said, I'll give you to them for free. I was like, okay. He said, and if the person only has 40 ringgit, I'll give it to them for 5 ringgit, so they still have some money left. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. But then he continued. He said, and by the way, Daddy, the poor person, right, because we gave it to them for free, he can sell it and make money. A 7-year-old, So I'm like, oh, okay, good. Because that's how you see the fruit, whether it's working or not, right? He said, so whatever he hears, what's going on, the conversations I have with Olivia, the sermons that we play, at home, whatever that is going on, right, it's already planted inside, So through these kind of scenarios, then you understand that they got it or not. And I was amazed to hear a 7-year-old have that kind of philosophy and understanding of
not just money, but also how money relates to life in this
and
community
well-being, right?
and
To the
well-being,
community.
yes.
It's like a social entrepreneur kind of a guy, mindset. So that's I think the greatest aspiration. For this young generation to think that way. Very powerful. It took, I never expected that from him. Never. Because it's all the time, he's playing some games,
But they are absorbing.
He's absorbing. They are absorbing. Kids are amazing. He's just absorbing. Cool.
Okay, last question. What's the philosophy on life? What's the meaning of life to you?
Meaning of life, man. Wow, you put me on the hot spot now. Meaning of life. I'll use a very simple term. As you said, you have followed me from the postings and what we do and stuff like that. Olivia and I, we are very simple. Very simple. Simple people. I believe in this. I want to be blessed to be a blessing. That's the philosophy. I think my WhatsApp tagline also is that. I'm just blessed to be a blessing. That's it. And there are many things which you can, elaborate on that. But I think that's the main philosophy. I want to be blessed to be a blessing. And that's it. So, I know there are people who say, but challenges are good for us. Yeah, challenges are good, But there are certain challenges, sufferings, which are not necessary. I have this, maybe we talk about this. Do we still have time?
Yeah, we have all the time.
Okay. We can always cut, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to cut.
Okay, let's say our case, right? 7 years easily, right? We suffer very bad. 7 years, huh? Credit cards, blah, 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 all these problems. Of course, there are some other problems which I cannot share right now. It's not the right timing to share. Major issues in life, relationship related, parents and stuff like that. I can't share right now. Now, let's say I'm set free, right? So if I grab the philosophy that people say, there are some people who just believe suffering is good for you because it makes you stronger. So my challenge to people like that is very simple. But right now, let's say I'm set free right now. All I should pray to God right now
is more
throw me another suffering. Give me another credit card. Last time God was 300,000. Well, you know what? Let's double it this time. Let's make it 600,000. Let's see whether I can take it or not. Okay, back to my philosophy of life, right? Blessed to be a blessing. So let's say this struggle comes again. I'm foolish, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, I got into another credit card debt. Yes, God answered my prayer. 600,000 this time. How on earth am I going to be a blessing to Meng Teng, to somebody in need, to somebody poor, to somebody orphan, to old folks home, or to somebody, or to a church, or to a missionary? I'm back to square one, and worse than that, because I'll be focusing again on my 600,000 credit card debt. So my message to people out there is be careful what you ask for. Challenges is very good. There is a difference when I throw a challenge. Just now we passed by the gym to come to this spot, right? It's a different when I throw a challenge in the gym, like Resh challenge now, right? He's going crazy in the gym. Our Resh Vin friend, six-pack investor friend. Went to crazy level already to another. But he chooses that challenge. He chose that challenge. He said, I want to go to my next level. So me and Olivia, I challenge my way of I honor God in finances. I challenge myself. I want to come to the next level of giving, for example. But it's not right for me, and it's not wisdom for me and you to ask God and say, give me another suffering. Physical illness, someone recover from cancer, or God healed somebody of cancer. Okay? You learn your lesson, whatever. So what do you do when you recover? God, let's do it one more time. It's a lot going on in this. I noticed from social media posts, right? Suffering can be good because it teaches you things. This kind of challenging life can be good. So I said, okay, the moment you receive a breakthrough, ask God to double your challenge and double your suffering. Nonsense. Then what are you going to teach to the next person? You have nothing to teach, seriously. Yes, there is a season, I understand. Yes, life can be a roller coaster. But you see, some is by choice. And most of the time, some is by choice. Right? And some is just life, happens. Okay? But why go by choice in the pit? When you can fly spread your wings like an eagle and make a difference. So I notice, especially, you just notice some of our friends in social media. They go through a It's like a cycle. They just recover from something. And like, oh, it was good. I'm now stronger. Yes, I know. But don't ask to go back to the same problem.
And somehow you become a pattern of your...
It becomes a
keep
pattern.
seeking for problem.
It becomes a cycle.
Keep seeking for suffering.
Correct.
Okay. I keep on wanting to ask a last question, but the more you say, the more question I have.
Sure.
But this is really the last one. Otherwise, we'll go on non-stop.
Okay.
What's your advice for young people these days? On money, on relationship, whatever it is, on faith? What's the advice for my viewers that are in their 20s or 30s?
Right.
Or even in their teens?
I think the first one is what I face. My challenge is don't become a people pleaser. Because by becoming a people pleaser, you end up buying things you don't need to impress people that probably don't even like you. Or I'm sure whether I'm right here or not. You see a test of relationship. I was telling a guy, this is real case, yeah. I was telling a guy because he was having some stressful situation with his girlfriend, not yet married, a girlfriend, because girlfriend was very used to a very high lifestyle,
okay.
high level, high standard of living.
And he can't afford.
And this boy was like, wow, man. I said, okay. I said, you drive a BMW? He said, yeah, I drive a BMW. Do you want to test your relationship? Okay, create a scenario. He said, are you serious? I said, I'm serious. He said, create a scenario. Suddenly I said, find the old car, whatever, whether it's an old Proton, whatever it is. Find the old car, a junk car, and say something happened, whatever it is. Pick her up a few times with an old car, junk car, whatever it is, and see how your girlfriend reacts. Because, back to the Bible, you say, it can be spiritual advice. Bible say, right, where your treasure is, your heart is, So even when the Bible or God talks about money, actually it's not the money issue, Actually it's a heart issue. So let's say my relationship with a girl or my wife or whatever, right? If I relate it back to money and I see how the person responds, actually it's no more a money issue. Actually it's a heart issue. He said, how can I do that? I said, check it out, babe. You never know. That's how you know the true color of the person. See, you are so much stressed. Not married yet. No kids yet. This is only boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And you say, you can't meet her expectations. And what, you want to put the ring on the finger? So this is major issue, I think, in many couples nowadays. So, don't be a people pleaser. That means even with your relationship with a girlfriend or boyfriend, whichever. Either way lah. Right or not?
So, what should he do? Be himself?
Of course.
No ego?
Of course. I mean, back to Bible, You all know this lah. Love your neighbor as yourself. In other words, right, if I don't love myself the way I am, right, how to love you leh? You see, people misunderstand that phrase, right? That truth. Love your neighbor. But yeah, it's as yourself. That means if I don't love myself, how to love neighbor? How to love the stranger? How to love somebody? Neighbor can be anybody, comes along the way. So if you don't accept yourself the way you are with the income that you have or what you have right now, right? Then what's the point of getting even into a relationship? Definitely the person will suffer. I have to come to terms with me. You see another challenge when I jump into Mr. Bean. Remember Olivia is a corporate lady, lawyer, corporate, bank, senior management
and
already in the bank, right?
Suddenly,
husband want to be a joker, do shows, events,
how
Mr. Bean.
Mm-hmm.
So my first question is, how will she react there? Another test of our relationship, agree? It's another test of relationship. But guess what? She went all the way to encourage me and support me.
Because she realized something as well?
Yes, of course. To her, she said, okay, what do we need to do now? She said, you need content. What can we do content? I have no idea. She's more creative than me. She's a crazy girl. I love her for that. She's amazing. People don't believe a lawyer can be so creative. She can be, she just thinks outside the box. She said, last time you played drum, right? Yes, okay. Some of my Mr. Bean videos I play, there is an act called Invisible Drum. Okay? So I do my drumming skills, so-called, right? I use it for my Mr. Bean act. Then she goes, what else you know how to do, She said, you can draw. Because I came back from an art school when I was in Albania. I used to draw, right? I was pretty good at it. She said, She came up with an act that I do sketches on the stage, caricatures and stuff like that. You see? So she supported me all the way, encouraged me all the way.
So both people need to understand this.
Of course lah, definitely man. So yeah, that's my main advice for the young people. Yeah.
Don't be a people pleaser.
Don't be a people pleaser.
Thank you very much for being so frank in this interview. I enjoyed this interview a lot.
I enjoy myself too.
No stress at all. Don't feel like a work at all. I really enjoyed this session with you. Thank you very much.
You're amazing. And by the way, you are so inspiring, seriously. I mean it. Not because of the video. What I mean it. Very inspiring. Because how young are you now? You don't mind?
I'm 26.
My goodness. Look at me. I already have white hair. Correct or not? We need more people like you guys. I'm serious. Yeah, whoever is following this young man, Mengtek here, please do and tell your friends to follow. I mean, he's not paying for this. We are not paying each other. This is nothing. This is purely sharing from our heart, lah. You know, it's just passion and hobby. He just like doing this, all right? And came all the way to KL to meet me here, all right? And I appreciate it. So we need more young men like these guys. Seriously, I mean it. Society is in a mess. Okay, it's back to values. What do we value in life, right or not? These kind of values, these kind of friendships are things that we should value. Okay? It's not about the branded things that we wear or the watch we carry or the car we drive or what kind of condominium or house we are living. Those are small matters. It's the value which we carry forward. Yeah?
I 100% agree. And if you want to find Faiket, I will put down his Facebook and Instagram link. Any other place to reach you?
That will do, yeah.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. That's all for this interview. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. Bye.
Bye.